Test. Testing.
And hello, everybody. Once again, after day 15 of the Olympics, it's midnight in Paris, 6 p.m. in the East, 3 p.m. in the West, and the penultimate day of the Olympic Games, the biggest day of the Olympic Games in terms of the number of medals that have been handed out. It was 39 today. That just concluded a mere minutes ago, and wow, it was an exciting game. Colin here, joined by Zach today. We'll all be here for the closing ceremony tomorrow to recap the few events left tomorrow, and our biggest takeaways from these Olympic Games. But for today, we're going to dive into everything that happened today. But first, make sure to give us a follow on Twitter at C&C Talks Podcast. Join our Discord server, cctalks.com/Discord. Check out our podcast right here on the C&C Talks YouTube channel, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, cctalks.com, and anywhere else you listen to your podcasts. And of course, if you're joining us today, please drop your comments and questions in the live chat. We will respond to them live on air. So, Zach, let's get into it, and let's start with. There's a lot of places that you could start with today, just because there were so many excellent moments. But
Absolutely.
I think we have to start with Team USA basketball.
Incredible and terrifying.
Terrifying is probably the best word, but at the same time, so Steve Kerr,
incredible game. I mean,
Steve Kerr, U.S. team's men's basketball team head coach, he had an interview after the game with Zora Stevenson of NBC, and what he essentially said is we're like the only country in the world where everyone's going to be mad at you if you win silver in the sport. I mean, it's true.
As they should. As they should be.
Yeah. So we can talk about the fact that we should be winning the gold, and how it's less of a celebration and more of relief after they do, but at the same time it's okay, but we are that country that's in that position. That type of pressure is a privilege, both for the players that play in it, but also for the fans who get to enjoy it.
But at the same time, it's also shouldn't be hard for us to win gold with a team like.
It shouldn't have been as hard against Serbia as it was. So with France, we've talked a lot about Steve Kerr.
I mean, France played brilliantly.
We've talked about Steve Kerr and his coaching struggles. I really didn't see many tactical errors from him today. I thought that I questioned the fact that I felt like Curry and LeBron and KD all could have played more minutes today. But it's not like LeBron's played 45 minutes of playoff basketball games before, and not that long ago. I get he's up there in age, but it wasn't that long ago. And the game, it's not even the 48-minute game. It's a 40-minute game. He should be playing 37 of those minutes. And today,
I agree.
Let's see. Let me get the numbers up from today. If you were to take a guess, how many minutes do you think these guys played?
Curry, LeBron.
Curry and LeBron, yeah, sure.
Curry was. There were a couple times where I thought he was out when he really shouldn't have been for some length of time. I would have.
Curry played just under 30 minutes, so just under 3/4 of the game.
Seriously? I was gonna say 33. Wow.
Yeah. LeBron James played 32, just over 30, 32 and a half minutes. Kevin Durant just over 31 minutes.
Yeah, no, that's. I mean, we probably would have won by more if they would have played for just even a couple minutes longer.
Yeah. And now, can I be honest though? I'm not sure I wanted the Warriors. I almost called them the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it felt like in a lot of ways today.
Yeah.
I will really want Team USA to win by more, because the last two games that we have seen for the US, their semifinal versus Serbia, and now this final here versus France. Electric games.
especially this one in particular.
Yeah, some of the
Serbia
most
was.
fun I've had watching basketball. Oh, and part of that was like the way that the crowd was behind France, and I
Also just some of the best basketball, period.
yeah, I mean, I've also like I think I said yesterday, I was like, there's probably 12 best players in the game to against France would be from Team USA.
Yeah.
That there was no one on France's roster better than anyone on Team USA. I think Victor Wembanyama heard that and took it personally, and I
Yes.
think I'm ready to admit that
Yes.
he's up
You
there among the biggest of stars already, which is wild.
I was gonna push you on that because
Yes,
I was looking at this game today and I was like, how can you say
no,
that he is not
he
one
is
of the best?
he is 20 years old. He's 20.
And he's led France to a
he's
silver
played
against a team
yeah,
of the greatest players in
yes,
basketball of all time.
yes. He's played one NBA season. He is he's only going to get better. What we've seen from him is probably this is of all the Olympics he competes in, which will probably be several more. This is the worst that he is going to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's
I mean,
there's a non-zero chance, and by non-zero chance, really, I think that it's like a pretty good chance actually that when we go into the Olympics in Los Angeles, Victor Wembanyama will be the best basketball player in the world.
I think you're right. I mean, the U.S. team is incredible. They're also a bit up there in age.
Well, yeah, I mean they have their young stars, some of which they didn't necessarily play. Like Tatum will be around, Devin Booker will be around. Devin Booker, by the way, had a pretty darn good game today. Tyrese Halliburton will be around. He'll be playing hopefully more minutes in 2028, and so like it'll be a new look team. But yeah, you're right. We won't see the likes of Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, and LeBron James. Almost certainly, none of them will be playing in the 2028 Olympics. So you never know. Joel Embiid says he probably wants to play with Cameroon in 2028. Probably wants to try to get them to their first Olympics in basketball. Like it'll definitely be a new look team, but at the same time, like Wembanyama's like the US will still be good, but Wembanyama's going to be
incredible.
I think amazing. And like I will say, like I mean, he won NBA Rookie of the Year this year. This is the first time I've actually watched a complete game of his. Like I've seen more than highlights. I've watched like quarters and halves of him play before, like during the NBA regular season, and like of course I've seen all the highlights. But like watching like a complete game, you can really see just how much he impacts the game,
and just how much not only of a great basketball player he is. I mean, I guess this is part of being a basketball player, but just how great of a leader he is.
Yeah.
As well. Like from everything I heard from behind the scenes stuff, especially from reporters and things, he just seems like an incredible guy to be on a team with as well, which is so important.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I like I mentioned, I think he'll be he's only going to get better. The US though, I don't think they're going to get necessarily worse. It'll be different. I mean, well,
yeah,
like this team is significantly better. This is the fifth straight gold medal that the United States has won in men's basketball. 8 of the last 9. This is better than at least the last 3, at least the Tokyo 2020/2021 team, the Rio 2016 team, and the London 2012 team. There's an argument to be made that it's better than the Redeem team from the 2008 Olympics. I argue that they're better than that team. Obviously better than 2004. I would argue that it's the best group of players that the United States has assembled since 1996. But at the same time, this isn't 1996 or 1992. The rest of the world is right there with the United States.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's getting concerning for the United States.
Well, yeah, but you can also just see it when you think about the fact that Wembanyama, who's from France, played in France up until he was drafted into the NBA. He was the number 1 overall pick in last year's NBA draft. In this year's NBA draft, the top 2 players in the draft came straight out of France. So, like, you can clearly tell, especially in France, the talent level is definitely getting there. And there's a good chance that we see 2 or 3 of the best players in the world are French in 2028.
Probably one of them is, almost definitely one of them is Wembanyama.
Yeah, no, Wemby's awesome. Really, really fun guy to watch play basketball. We have not yet talked about the player that was extremely fun on the United States side to watch. Are you kidding me, Stephen Curry?
Incredible. His performance in this game was just stunning to watch.
Otherworldly.
It was
specifically in the fourth quarter. Like,
it was
down the stretch, it was close. France would not go quietly into the night.
No, they wouldn't.
And
I honestly think that without Steph Curry, there's a chance that France might have won this game.
Yeah, I mean,
there's
there's a good chance someone else would have stepped up. Like, we know LeBron James can step up in big moments, but today and in the semifinals, who was that person? It was Steph Curry. Those last 4 3-pointers to really seal the game were all incredible, but especially that fourth one, which really sealed the deal, where he right after he did his signature night. Absolutely legendary shot. One of the most insane shots I've seen him make, and that's saying something because he's made all sorts of insane shots.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
it didn't even look like he had footing there. Like,
no, he didn't.
He wasn't even standing.
He was going like cross body.
Yeah.
Like
somehow he just lobbed it up there.
And the best person in history at what he does. There has never been anybody like him, and we already knew that. But I think there's just something else when you it sets in more when you see him doing that next to like all the other best of the best NBA players.
Yeah.
Right? Like this isn't like the talent level here is higher than it is in the NBA finals because, you know, because Team USA is the best players, most of the I think they're all NBA All-Stars. Maybe not Derek White, but I think all of them are.
Yeah. And he stood out even amongst that crowd of people.
Yeah. Quick stat for you. In the semifinals and finals combined, Steph Curry was 17 for 26 from 3-point range.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's over 65%. Not from the field, not shooting just in general. 3-point shooting.
It's incredible.
The balls are different from the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
The distance that the 3-point line is behind the away from the hoop, that's different. No matter. Swish, swish, swish every time.
Every single time.
17 of 26.
It's like significantly over half.
I actually wonder how many NBA players throughout history can you go back for and find a 2-game stretch, any 2-game stretch during their careers that they shot 65% from 3-point range with, let's say, at least 15 made threes in there.
Yeah. I mean, I think definitely.
I don't know if it has ever happened. I mean, there's a non-zero chance Curry's done it at some point. Maybe Klay Thompson, maybe like James Harden, although I kind of doubt that one. But like, there's a chance it may have never happened. And Curry did it in the semifinals and the finals of an Olympic basketball tournament.
Yeah. It's incredible.
It's unbelievable. And that's not to minimize the contributions of anybody else on the team.
No.
From like Kevin Durant came through, LeBron James came through. He had that one amazing behind the back pass early in the game, and several fun slams. Drew Holiday played well, and Embiid at times played well. The crowd was maybe getting to him a bit. Devin Booker played well. Like, it really was a good team win, except for, the players that were sat. Although Steve Kerr did play Jason Tatum today, so that's something for Celtics fans to stop crying about now. Like, It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it is.
Like I sometimes think it does a disservice to us as fans to be setting the expectation at gold medal, not because that's not the expectation, but because that takes away so much of just the enjoyment of watching that team. What
Well,
we
I
just
mean,
watched was a special type of basketball.
well, it's always fun when this happens, but at the same time, you know, we should be expecting gold.
Yes, no, we should, but it makes it kind of less fun when you like it makes it's harder to watch a game like that and celebrate because what they just did is they played an amazing game.
Yeah.
The
And
level was very, very high.
yes. And I honestly think maybe even more impressive though was France and how they
Yes,
played.
sure. I do quickly before we move on. I want to remind people we're what about? I think we're just about 3 weeks. It might be 3 weeks to the day removed from the U.S. Needing a last-second shot to beat South Sudan.
Yeah.
They just won Olympic gold in spectacular fashion.
I think part of that though is just I mean, they got to the gold medal match. Like I bet they were all thinking there's no way we can lose this. We have
Oh,
to
sure.
win. I'm the pressure to win this game was even though, you know, it should be about the same. I think the pressure to win this was a lot greater than the pressure to win against South Sudan.
Well, because against South Sudan, it was an exhibition game too. Who cares?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But still, there's a very clear difference in how that team looked then versus how this team, same players, looks literally 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible. Well, let's talk about some other medals. Let's just do a quick whip around of a few of these. It was a rough day for American golfers again. Ends up with Lydia Ko of New Zealand winning the women's golf tournament. Germany in second, China in third. And we're just doing a very quick whip around of some of these other medals, and then we'll dive in deeper to a few of them. In weightlifting today, 3 weightlifting competitions: men's 102 kilograms. China up at the top of the podium, unsurprisingly, with Uzbekistan, and then the neutral athletes, a neutral athlete down in third. Also, in weightlifting today, we saw in one of the women's competitions, Norway, Egypt, and Ecuador, and then the heaviest weight class. In other words, the battle for the world's strongest man competition
Yeah.
goes to Georgia's Lasha Talakadze, Armenia, the silver, Bahrain with the bronze. Let's see other podiums today. Let's take a look at this.
I saw the men's high jump today.
Yes,
That was
uh,
insane.
we'll talk about that in a sec. Men's and women's boxing, the heaviest weight class for men, Uzbekistan, Spain, France, and Germany. Podium. Women's highest weight class, China, Panama, Australia, and then the refugee team that they've assembled, the IOC has assembled. They got their first medal of these Olympics.
Is that the one initials EOR?
Yeah, EOR, yeah.
Okay.
Men's boxing, a slightly lower weight class, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Bulgaria, I think, and then Australia. And then the another women's weight class, Chinese Taipei up at the top, then Poland, Philippines, and Turkey. Taekwondo on the women's side today, France, Uzbekistan, Turkey, South Korea. Men's side, Iran, Great Britain, Ireland, and Cuba. I've gotten very good at learning flags in the last few days. Just want to put that out there. Women's freestyle wrestling today. Japan, Ukraine, Kyrgyzstan, and Norway. Then the 2 classes for men, freestyle wrestling. One went Georgia, Iran, Tajikistan. No, it's Azerbaijan. Excuse me. Turkey, and then the other one, Uzbekistan, Japan, Albania, and the U.S. So, yeah, I still have a little bit of work to do on the flags. Uzbekistan has been a revelation in some of these wrestling and other events such as those, and just the sheer number of medals that they're winning there. Actually, a lot of the stands have been winning medals there.
Huh.
Where else we go? The men's modern pentathlon. Egypt won after, I don't know. It's the dumbest contest of the Olympics. Actually, sorry, that's race walking. Never mind.
Well, no, race walking is fun.
It's fun, but it's dumb.
Sure, yeah.
I saw somebody that seems to be like the biggest track and field fan arguing that with swimming events we don't need the backstroke and the breaststroke and the butterfly, because why not just have a swimming event to like why not just use the fastest way of swimming? Like, why do we need to see who's fastest at slower ways of swimming? Like, okay, and why do we need to see how fast people can walk without running? Why do we need to see how fast people can hurdle?
Yeah. That's not really good commentary there, in my opinion.
No, it's very, very bad commentary. Let's see what else. Yeah, like I said, a lot of medals today. Track cycling, the men's Madison race went Portugal, Italy, Denmark. What else? I mentioned weightlifting. Yes, I did. Mentioned women's golf. Women's team table tennis. China 5 for 5 in table tennis medals. Table tennis, 5 golds for them.
Yeah.
China's over Japan, then Korea in third. Men's 10-meter platform diving. China is now 8 for 8 in diving.
Oh gosh, and that's probably why they've taken the lead on us today.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a couple of minutes.
Yeah,
they're up at the top there. Silver to Japan, bronze to Great Britain. The group rhythmic gymnastics, another gold for China. Israel in second, Italy in third. Also a gold for China in the artistic swimming events today. The duet artistic swimming, with Britain coming in second and the Netherlands coming in third. If you did not see artistic swimming, there's no more of it these Olympics, but go back and watch some. It's really, really fun to watch. Women's boulder and lead sport climbing. So Slovenia, the U.S., and Albania. And then some of the kayak events. Men's kayak sprint, 1,000 meters. Czechia, and then Hungary in second and third. And the women's kayak sprint single 500 meters. New Zealand, Lisa Carrington, another gold. Then Hungary, and then Denmark. And then the women's canoe sprint single 200 meters. This was a photo finish between Katie Vincent and Nevin Harrison for Canada and the U.S. Third went to Cuba, but the U.S. ends up not getting gold here. They get silver. Katie Vincent gets gold by
which one?
women's canoe sprint single 200 meter by like 100th of a second.
Oh gosh.
So when you're chasing the gold medal title, yeah, that's not great.
No.
We'll say, I believe we're at 122 medals overall for the United States, which is significantly more than they got in the Tokyo Olympics, with more to come.
Yeah, China's also beaten their record.
Yes, not by quite as much though.
No,
not yet at least.
But it might get up near. I think you're right at this point that they probably won't. I mean, there's only one day left, so I'm pretty confident that they won't get another 10 medals.
Yeah, no, they won't get 100.
Well, yeah, another 10 medals, but they're going to get really close. In 2028, they might get 100.
Yeah, I also think the U.S. is just going to perform better in 2028 because of the home field advantage, I guess. But at the same time, like, you've got a lot that you've got to work on. In the pool, you have a lot of people that are retiring, or at least getting up there in age. That you're going to have to figure that out. Is Simone Biles going to be back for you in gymnastics? Because if not, uh-oh. By the way, in gymnastics, seems like Jordan Childs might be losing her bronze medal because It
That
seems
was
that they determined that
bull.
that they filed the appeal like a second too late or something.
Complete BS.
It's ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous. Apparently, it was like you have to do it in the first minute, and Jordan Childs submitted hers in like 1 minute 4 seconds or
Yeah.
something, some BS like that. Like,
I
seriously.
mean, to be fair, rules are rules, but I fail to see the point of the rule.
But they messed up in the first place. So
Yeah, I know.
like it's complete BS if Jordan Childs doesn't get this medal.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, like, if they had said at the time, we're not going to review it, because you didn't submit it in time, fine. I don't think many people are complaining. But you already reviewed it. Like,
Yes.
Maybe I'm completely off base with the reasoning on this, but in baseball, you have 30 seconds to challenge a call. And the reason for this is because they don't want it delaying the game.
Yeah. But there's
They're not
no.
delays. They already reviewed it. That's
Yes.
done. They did that.
Yeah.
Now she's already been given the bronze medal too. Like, you already put it around her neck.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
complete BS if she doesn't get it.
yeah, why are you trying to take it away now? What's the justification here?
Do you even know why this came back up? Like, why is this even a thing we're still talking about?
Because someone else appealed it, I think.
Oh my god.
It's so bad. I guess congrats to your fake gold, Romania. I hope that, by the way, that whoever that person is that's now going to get that bronze medal, I really hope that they can live in peace with that bronze medal hanging around their neck, knowing that they actually didn't earn it because somebody else did do a better routine. They just wouldn't count it because the judges messed up and she filed an appeal 4 seconds late.
Yeah.
Hope that she has fun living with the fact that she's not actually the third best at floor.
Yeah. It's complete BS too. Like, if I was an Olympic athlete, I wouldn't want to appeal something like that. I wouldn't want that medal. I would all of these athletes have worked extremely hard to get where they are. I feel like taking that medal is just ignoring.
You don't want it handed to you.
What?
You don't want it handed to you.
Yeah. Yeah. You didn't earn it.
Yeah. Live your life knowing that you didn't earn it. Hope you have fun with that one.
Yeah.
But hey, you get a hunk of bronze and a sliver of the Eiffel Tower. Congrats.
Yeah.
But wait, I think Jordan Childs is back in the United States with her medal. I hope that she just doesn't give it back.
Yeah.
And the United States refuses to, give it back to them.
Yeah. What are they gonna do
if she just doesn't give it back?
At the same time, it puts her in an awful position too, because when
it does.
You just want it to be your medal, undisputed. You earned it.
Nobody wins here.
Yeah, nobody wins. Nobody wins.
No one wins. Men's marathon this morning, or the women's tomorrow. Ethiopia's Timirat Tola got the gold. The conditions for this race were awful. The course was difficult, and yet Olympic record marathon.
Incredible.
Yeah.
By how? What was the previous Olympic record?
That's a good question. Olympic record marathon. Let's see. Let's take a look at this. So the results today, he had a 2:06:26. Previous record was in Beijing, 2:06:32. So a 6th-second world record. Wow. He won by 21 seconds.
Wow. I mean, that means that probably in 28 we'll have another Olympic record.
Yeah. So if you remember, world record, 2 hours 35 seconds by Kelvin Kiptum, set in Chicago last October. I don't know if we're quite gonna get to sub 2 hours for a little while, but it's coming.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Belgium with the silver, and Kenya with the bronze. Where else should we go?
Did you
Men's
do?
volleyball today. It's a good place to go. France with the gold, the win over Poland. Just got to celebrate with their home crowd. However, U.S. men's volleyball really, really impressed today in their bronze medal match. The women, they'll play for gold tomorrow. Sorry, it was yesterday that was the bronze medal match that the United States that the U.S. men won. That was yesterday. But still an impressive win for them over Italy to capture that bronze and complete that podium. Where else?
Did you talk about the men's 5K?
No, we'll get to some of those track and field events in a sec. Women's handball. Yeah, something again about handball just being good and really exciting. I do not understand how this sport has not become big in America. It's something that Americans could be really, really good at.
Yeah, I think so
And
too.
B, involves like every element of sport that Americans like.
Yeah.
In some ways, it's like soccer with your hands and super high scoring. Americans love high scoring sports. This is why they've ditched baseball the last few years.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know if that's the only reason.
Well, no, it's not, but it's one of them. Like, there's lots of scoring. It takes an hour and a half. Like it's fun. It's fun. Denmark with the bronze medal over Sweden on the women's side. France played for a gold against Norway and lost pretty badly.
Yikes.
Not as hilariously as they lost on the men's side to Germany a couple days ago, but they still lost pretty badly.
Wow.
Women's water polo. We've talked about this. The U.S. men's national, the U.S. women's national. Do they call it the national team? I don't know. I guess that's soccer. We'll talk about that in a second too. U.S. women in water polo. 3 straight gold medals. That streak ended. We knew that was going to happen. Thought that they could at least, win a bronze medal. And they were up like 3, I think, on the Netherlands with just a few minutes left.
And
the Netherlands scored a few unanswered. They tied it. And then, with like 1 second left, they got the game winner. U.S. off the podium in women's water polo. Put it this way, it's not going to be a great sign if and when the men do better than the women in water polo, because they're playing for a bronze tomorrow too.
I mean, I'm hoping to win the bronze.
Sure. Spain ended up beating Australia in the in that gold medal that gold medal game 11-9 earlier this morning. Soccer, or as they call it in the Olympics, football, because they are wrong.
Well, I don't know.
They are wrong.
It makes more sense.
But football's already a sport.
Well, technically, actually, I'd have to know more about the history around this, but I mean, you don't use you only use your foot in a couple situations in football.
No, but Zach, you don't understand. It's called football, even though you don't use your feet in it here in the U.S. because of American exceptionalism.
Exactly.
It's the same reason that but we need Nate Bargatze to play George Washington from the SNL sketch in the opening ceremony in 2028.
Yes.
That's not an original joke, by the way. I don't remember who posted that originally, but I saw it online this morning. But like, I've had enough of meters.
Yes.
Go back to feet.
So have I.
Also, meters makes more sense, but whatever.
Yeah.
I still had enough of it.
Yeah.
I am an American, so I'm nonsensical.
Exactly.
That's kind of a whole thing, really, if you think about it.
Uh-huh. Do what others aren't doing.
All right, let's talk about the soccer game this morning. Saw yesterday
yeah.
Germany get the bronze medal, but the USA
This
Brazil for the championship. We've seen the United States and Brazil face off against each other for the gold medal in soccer before multiple times.
This was an intense game, and the refs were just complete idiots. Like, what
I've
the
seen
heck?
better refereeing. The first half was kind of wild. Brazil had a lot of chances. So the US had a few, but not they weren't
Brazil had
great
so
chances.
many chances.
Brazil
Brazil had
had
so many chances.
too many chances. Alyssa Nair, by the way, played a great game. She's been great all tournament in goal for the United States, including at the end of the game, a ridiculous save.
Mm-hmm.
By
By the way, sort of detour slightly. I really didn't need the cuts to Tom Cruise.
no,
I
no one did.
I
Did you
could've-
appreciate all the cuts to Jimmy Fallon during the basketball game, though?
I only saw one of them.
No, there were several. He was chopping it up with Emmanuel Macron.
Yes, I thought that was funny. I thought the selfie
Yeah.
was funny.
Looked like United States second gentleman Doug Emhoff was at the game as well.
Nice.
But yeah, the selfie with Macron was certainly something. But anyway, back to the soccer game. Yeah, Brazil scored early in the game, but was called back for offsides, which was the correct call, not by much. And then Brazil nearly got a penalty later in the first half, which was also kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
Second half,
Yeah.
United. I don't know what adjustments were made at halftime. I think it was less of the type of adjustments that the U.S. made that made them look a lot better, and more of Brazil seemingly decided, "Hey, we've been having this strategy that's been working for us like all game. What if we just change it?
Yeah. What if we just don't play well?
What if we decide that? What if we decide to play defense for the rest of the game and try to avoid having them score a goal instead of trying to score one of our own?"
Yeah, and the stoppage time.
Well, I'll get to that. I'll get to that. Sophia Smith, a great goal from her. It was almost offsides. It looked offsides to me at the time, but the thing was, oh, sorry, it was not Sophia Smith. It was Mallory Swanson. The thing was about this, Mallory Swanson had the heads up play because she realized Sophia Smith was in an offside position. She couldn't touch the ball, so she had to. So Swanson had to go take it, and take it. She did. Put it in the back of the net.
Yeah.
Great goal, and then from there, US, they had a couple other opportunities to score, but for the most part, they just held on, and it was
They
enough.
had great defense. The defense was.
And by the way, after
really-
that goal by Swanson, all the cuts to the crowd, Megan Rapinoe, super, Tom
Yep.
Cruise,
Yeah.
all's good.
The cuts to Megan Rapinoe were great. The cuts to Tom Cruise are.
So I was thinking about this because the United States today, they decided not to start Rose Lavelle. They instead started Corbin Albert, who's been actually playing pretty well, but this is the person on the team who's has a history of making extremely homophobic statements, which won't exactly go over well on the team that's has I don't know how many there are currently, but at least has had a long history of having LGBTQ players.
Yeah.
But so I was wondering, as Rapinoe was watching the game,
what was she thinking about?
What was she thinking when she saw Albert, a person who had celebrated when Rapinoe suffered a career-ending injury for the sole reason that Rapinoe is gay?
Seriously?
Yep. So I was kind of wondering what Rapinoe was thinking about that.
We have this person on our team.
Yeah, that person's on the team.
Representing.
She's looking good, but I don't think that justifies putting that type of person on the team. Somebody that's celebrating a career-ending injury for probably the best U.S. women's soccer player of all time.
At the end of the day, this team is also representing the country.
And has also done a lot of work on social justice, especially regarding equal pay. They really are a group of trailblazers.
Yeah.
And this is the person they're putting front and center.
Yeah. It's not okay. I didn't even know about most of this.
Yeah. That's soccer. Talk track in just a sec. I just want to make sure that we don't
You
have
want
any.
to comment on the stoppage time quickly?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
This was just ridiculous. I mean, 10 minutes. The US was up 1. It wasn't going anywhere. They gave 10 minutes of stoppage time. And then I don't know what happened after that, but somehow more time was added.
Yeah,
Do you
more,
know?
yes. No more. No, the time that was added after that was very reasonable um because Lindsey Horan had gone down with an injury, which it took like
Yeah.
2 minutes for play to resume, so they added roughly 2 more minutes. That was fine.
Yeah.
I struggle to figure out where they came up with 10 minutes of game time that were lost. I get that there's the hydration break because the heat was so high. I get that took time, so you have to add some there. There was a small injury.
But
I
it
thought that
wasn't
we'd
going,
have like 6 minutes of stoppage time.
yeah,
I don't know where they came up with 10.
which is fair. 6 minutes is completely fair.
10 was too much.
Way too much. And
I
like just think about how many shots Brazil took in that time.
well, I mean,
I mean,
it's not about that. I mean, it's about making sure that the full 90 minutes is actually played.
yeah,
But
yeah.
but they I would have been so mad if they scored in the 98th minute. Like, not just
Mm-hmm.
not mad at like, oh, like you blew it, guys. Mad at like the referees for, putting that much time on the clock.
Because at some point the score was 0-1 or 1-0 US. So
That doesn't matter though.
but at some point, if the game went on forever, they're going to score just because
Well,
that's
maybe.
how.
Um, before we get to track and field, let's talk beach volleyball, men's beach volleyball. We're done with beach volleyball now, which is a shame because the venue for beach volleyball was amazing.
I want to see how LA is going to respond to that venue.
Gonna
They
put it
can't.
in the middle of the highway. They're gonna put it in like well, they're gonna like have traffic like converging on it too because like they like in Paris they put it right next to the most iconic landmark in the city, the Eiffel Tower. That's what they're gonna do in LA too. They're gonna put it in the middle of the traffic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the most iconic
Yeah.
landmark of LA.
Sweden wins the gold here and didn't have much trouble doing it either. Germany the silver, Norway the bronze. Zach, you watch any breakdancing today?
No, I actually haven't watched any.
So there's the boys' turn. An American got on the podium. He was expected to win gold. It was Victor. Got third. Gold went to Phil Wizard of Canada. Danny Dan of France got Danny Dan of France got silver. I still can't believe that is real. That's what we're calling people in the Olympics. But okay. I did not see anything today while watching breakdancing that was as bad as I saw from that Australian woman yesterday.
I do feel a little bit bad for her. I mean, at the end of the day, the Olympics allowed her
To compete.
to compete. So, I mean, I do feel a little bad because I mean, just looking at social media after that, it was brutal. I mean, deservingly, of course. I mean,
Yes.
but at the same time, maybe not so deservingly because the Olympics did allow her to compete.
Well, so here's my question, which is like watching this today, I was wondering where do they find these people that are
Well, there's apparently world championships.
well, yeah,
I
but
haven't
for
before,
me it's
so
like I've seen better breakdancing in person. Like it's not bad, don't get me wrong. It's just I don't feel like it's the best of the best when it comes to breakdancing. I feel like I see more just like random people on the streets doing better breakdancing than that.
well,
And
I'm
I think
guessing it's
I think in
difficult.
some ways it brings up again the question of access. Like, sure,
Yeah,
how do you get to the Olympics? Sure, you have to be one of the best people in your sport, but you also have to know someone. And
you
just the
do.
amount of people, especially like this, skateboarding, I think is another great example because uh, it, um, it comes from the streets in a lot of ways. skateboarding. I think that, like, there's just not a way to reach the people that are the best at this because they don't have a way to necessarily reach the people that just do this all the time on a daily basis.
Yeah, I mean,
as like part of a culture too.
yeah, for something like for other sports, it's easier to find the best people.
Yeah.
Also, partly because like for something with a professional sport, even if somebody has the potential to be really good, they're just not doing it as much because it's not their job to do it. So the people who it's their literal job to play the sport, like in the NBA or something, they're just going to be better because they have time to do it all the time.
Yep.
Whereas something like skateboarding, there's not really a professional way to do that. So everybody's sort of on a more level playing field.
Yep.
It makes it harder to find the best.
Yeah. Now, let's round out what today. We'll talk about tomorrow in a minute, but let's round out today with the 8 medals that were handed out on the track and the field. And let's start with the field. Let's start with the 2 on the field. Start with the javelin because it was the less interesting one of them. Not that it wasn't interesting.
Yeah,
javelin was less interesting. Japan with the gold, South Korea with the silver, Czechia with the bronze. However, the high jump, oh my.
Incredible. I saw this.
Char got the bronze, but then Hamish Courage, Shelby McEwen for Australia and the US were tied. None of them, they couldn't get over the highest one of, I think it was 2.38 meters. And they both had missed the same number of times in the previous rounds. So they had 2 options. They could do what they did in Tokyo, not these 2 people, 2 other people, and they both take home a gold.
Yeah.
Or they fight it out with essentially a jump off.
And they decided to do that.
They decided to do that. It's the right thing to do. I'm still kind of mad at the American for not taking the gold, given that, we're chasing China at the moment. But
it was difficult, though. I mean, they both gave their
this guy, though, Shelby McEwen, the American, he was, it looked like the one that was like really, really wanting to, fight it out pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't hit a single jump after that.
Well, I mean, it's not like they lowered the bar, so.
No, they did.
Did they?
Yes. Not on the first one, but after that, yes.
Oh, I didn't realize that they lowered the bar.
Yeah. So
he got really close a couple times. Like there was one jump that I saw at the very least where he just barely nicked the bar and it fell over.
Yep.
Almost got it.
Fine margins. But it ended up sorry, not Australia, it was New Zealand, that Hamish Kerr is from.
Yeah. They both had some like just complete fails as well.
Yes. The final jump for Hamish Kerr before it went into the to the jump off. I'm talking about the one where he just decided to not jump.
Oh yeah, that one.
What was he doing?
Like where he went under the bar?
Yeah.
Well, I think the problem was I think you have to jump. Don't you have to jump by a certain line? I think he crossed the line and he just wasn't set up properly.
I don't know quite what the rules were on it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but it was kind of odd.
Yeah. We saw some United States redemption today on the relays.
Oh yeah,
the 4x400s today. The United States hung on for dear life in the men's relay.
Yeah.
They got the lead in what, like their third lap, and then they just hung on for dear life.
But we ended up breaking the Olympic record. So
yeah, which is impressive given how close the race was.
Yeah. That Olympic record is not standing for very long.
No, Botswana in second, Great Britain in third.
Botswana, I don't.
Well, Olympic record. Well, but then look, Botswana, area record. Great Britain, area record. Belgium, national record. South Africa, national record. Japan, area record. Italy, season best.
Insane. That's crazy.
7 of the 9 competitors had huge records today. But the U.S., I mean, tons and tons of credit to. I mean, it was a rough first leg by Christopher Bailey, a 44.45, but tons of credit to Vernon Norwood, 43.26. Great time for him there. There's a bit Bryce Deadman. He ran a 43.54, not great, but he managed to take the U.S. into the lead, and then a phenomenal anchor from Rai Benjamin, 43.18. On the women's side, Zach, it wasn't close.
I didn't see this. What happened?
This was
Oh wait, maybe I did see this.
This was secretariat levels of domination.
Oh wait, was this the Kenyan athlete?
No, this was the 4x400 on the women's side. United States won.
400 today, right? 400 finals for women?
No, that was a couple days ago. United States won by over 4 seconds.
Wow.
Again, 4x400. That means it's a mile.
Yeah.
Over 4 seconds is a lot. First place after every single leg. It was close after the first leg. After the first leg, they were up by less than a second. Shamir Little, pretty good first leg, 49.48. And then the baton got passed to Sydney McLaughlin-Lavroni. And oh my God, can she run?
What was the time on this leg?
47.71.
Wow.
She was, after that leg, ahead by 3.5 seconds. It
Insane.
never tightened up after that.
That's insane.
Never tightened up.
So basically, she's the reason we won.
I mean, we would have won without her.
By that much, though.
Yeah, exactly. The reason that we won by that much. I mean, she won the 400-meter hurdles with the world record. She didn't run the 400 because it was too close in time to the hurdles, but she ran the relay and destroyed everybody.
Wow.
We saw the photo of her after she broke her own world record again in the 400-meter hurdles, of her putting on a crown. Today she truly proved that she's a queen. Unbelievable performance from her. Final couple of track medals today. Which, by the way, this wraps up the track meet. Wildly successful track meet for the United States. Women's 1,500 meters, it was rough for the United States, but Faith Kipyegon wins another medal. Jessica Hall.
Not even close, by the way. Kenya completely blew that race out of the water.
They did. Which race was it that we thought someone, for a while, it looked like somebody had the chance of going 1, 2, 3? Was that the men's 50? For 5? Or was it the men's 5K? Yeah, I think that was.
I don't think so. I don't think did we have 3 athletes in that?
No, that we thought Ethiopia had a chance of going 1.
Oh, 2, 3. Ethiopia.
Which race was this even today? This might have been yesterday, actually.
I mean, I know that the US got a bronze in that, which was unexpected, apparently.
In the 5K?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Grant Fisher, who did the exact same thing in the 10K, comes back on that final lap.
Crushes everyone.
Gets the bronze behind Ronald Kwemoy of Kenya and Jacob of Norway.
I was watching it, and when he started driving, I was like, this has to be too late. There's no way he can go fast enough to get a medal. What's
funny is he started the final lap in like 3rd position, and then he faded a lot because everybody else was making their push, and he just wasn't.
Yeah, I was like, I think he waited too long.
Yeah.
But then somehow he just blew through everybody.
If he had a couple more seconds, or like say he had another 50 meters, he would have gotten silver.
Possibly. I mean, there was still a decent distance between him and.
But he was catching them.
Yeah, yes. I mean, he was running so fast at the end there; it was insane.
Women's 100-meter hurdles, somewhat unexpected for the United States. A gold for Mueseler Russell.
Oh wow! Okay.
France, silver, Puerto Rico, the bronze, which I think means the U.S. gets the silver and the bronze because Puerto Rico's, even though they have their own Olympic committee, they're technically Americans. Well, not technically, they are Americans. So
yeah,
I mean, I think it's wrong to try to claim their medals, but
yeah, as we've claimed else of theirs.
Romania took our bronze from Jordan Childs. We're claiming Puerto Rico's bronze.
Oh gosh. Is it official? Like the Jordan Childs?
I don't know.
It better not be.
I don't know.
They got to come to their senses on this one.
Yeah, and then the men's 800 meter. Yikes, Team USA.
Was it bad? I didn't see this one.
For example, he was close to the podium actually, 4th place, but not quite close enough. It was a U.S. record, but no medal.
Okay.
Kenya gold, Canada silver, Algeria bronze. I mean, I guess I can't be mad.
Yeah, U.S. record is.
No, that's legit.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah. Great track meet all around over the last few days. The number of photo finishes has been wild.
Yeah, and it's been so fun to watch the U.S. with this new long distance strategy. It's worked in a lot of cases, and I would say overall very positive.
Well,
this strategy of
the United States, we mentioned 122 overall medals at the moment. 34 of them from track and field, including 14 golds.
Yeah.
That's really good.
We're doing something right. It's safe to say.
Yeah.
We're doing something right.
This may be the best U.S. track team I've seen in a long time.
Really good. Really good.
I mean, probably the best that I've personally ever seen, given that I haven't been on this earth for that long.
And there's definitely some that we would have gotten had there not been, other circumstances like the.
Well, completely effing up the relay yesterday.
That too. Yes.
I mean, I'm still annoyed at that.
Yeah.
We could be tied with China right now, but no.
Yeah. Or if Noah Lyles hadn't gotten COVID. I mean, he almost definitely would have won the 200. I think that Sha'Carri Richardson probably had it. It was definitely possible for her to win the 100.
I'm glad that she, got her medal, got her gold.
Yeah.
In the it was in the 4x100, but still, she
got
went a terrific anchor yesterday for the U.S.
Yeah. Do you think she'll be in 2028?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
I think so too.
She'll
be fast.
Now we got to talk about this.
Oh yeah.
We got to talk about tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
The U.S. is going to win the overall medal count. They're sitting at 122.
Golds
China has 90. China won't even get to 100. I don't think it's even possible for them to get to 100.
It'd be incredible if they got 100.
So we'll win that. We've clinched it. However, China's sitting with 39 golds, U.S. with 38.
And it's way above everybody else. It's U.S. is
next is Australia and Japan tied with 18.
Yeah.
The question is, can the United States
get the gold?
End up with the most gold medals? I think that there's a very good chance that they will at least end up tied for the most gold medals.
Well, what events are happening tomorrow?
So here's the events tomorrow.
Because this was a great day for China in terms of events as well. They just had a lot of events.
This is what we've got tomorrow. We've got 13 medals. We've got the women's marathon.
Okay.
We've got men's handball.
Okay. Well, that doesn't help us.
No, it doesn't. The women's marathon probably doesn't either. We'll see. We've got men's water polo. U.S. can get bronze, but not the gold here. China can't get anything. China can't get anything in handball either.
Yeah,
As for the marathon, does China
probably
have
not.
a runner in the marathon? Oh yeah, China does have a runner in the marathon. They're ranked 143 in the world, so I'm not too worried.
Okay.
And I think that's their only runner in the marathon, unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, no, they have another that's ranked 95 in the world. I'm still not worried at all about them winning the marathon.
No.
So we handball, men's water polo, the women's modern pentathlon final, which I don't believe either the U.S. or China is really expected to win either. In fact, yeah, no, none of them are anywhere near the top of the modern pentathlon standings.
Okay.
Then we've got some wrestling tomorrow.
Oh, that could be. China's good at wrestling, aren't they? But so is the U.S.
So China does not have any gold medal opportunities in wrestling tomorrow. The United States has won the women's freestyle 76 kilograms. It seems the United States, it's Kennedy Alexis Blades. She's the favorite for the gold. That hardly makes it a guarantee.
Yeah.
Could win. The U.S. probably needs that gold. Then we've got women's basketball. That should be a gold for the United
That
States.
should be a gold. So at least now, if everything goes as expected, the U.S. will at least be tied so far.
With
But what other?
women's basketball, good chance of getting the gold, which would bring us up to 40 in women's in that women's wrestling. Far from guaranteed. Women's weightlifting.
Ooh,
Battle for
China.
the world's strongest woman. Chinese athlete is the overwhelming favorite.
Oh, so that puts them ahead of us again.
Which would be that would be a tie at 40 if
really?
If the U.S. can win the wrestling and the basketball, and
Oh, yeah.
China can win the weightlifting. Then
Okay.
we have some track cycling. We have the women's sprint finals.
Is the U.S. on the radar in this at all?
So, and let's see, in women's sprint, I don't think so. I'll check just to make sure, but I don't think so. There's also no, neither the U.S. nor China has anybody left in that.
Okay, good.
So there's that. There's the women's omnium. This is an event that the U.S. could. They're not the favorites in, but it's an event that the United States could get gold in.
What is this event?
It's a track cycling event.
Okay.
So they could get gold in it. They're not the favorites too.
China get gold?
Yeah, then China I don't think really could.
Okay.
Then women's volleyball.
We should.
U.S. versus Italy for the championship. If I were to guess, this will decide whether I don't think that China is going to beat us. I think they could tie us in terms of gold medals. This, I think, will determine whether the U.S. beats China or whether they tie China in terms of gold medals. This volleyball match. 4 a.m. Pacific time, 7 a.m. Eastern time. That'll decide it. Men's Kieran track cycling finals also tomorrow. Neither the U.S. or China a threat at this at all. In fact, I don't think the U.S. has anybody in it at all. And then, of course, we'll have the closing ceremony tomorrow, noon Pacific time, 3 Eastern, and right after it, we'll be here for C&C Live. Final day of the Olympics. Zach, any thoughts about the closing ceremony as we are now like 20 hours away from it?
I'm excited to see what they have to offer, and I'm not looking forward to Tom Cruise's stunt.
Yeah. I think we should just rename this the Tom Cruise Sucks podcast, because that's essentially what we spent the last few days talking about.
I'd be okay with hosting a podcast with that title.
Yeah. So, final thought before we hop off of here. Stephen Curry, you're a miracle worker.
Incredible. Yeah.
All right.
And can't wait to see how Wemby improves in the coming years. That'll be incredible.
Yes. All right. With that, I think that'll do it. Day 15 of these Olympic Games. Thanks for joining us on C&C Live. Of course, we'll be back here tomorrow. We will offer our thoughts on the closing ceremony. We will offer our final thoughts on these Olympic Games, and of course, we'll recap all the events tomorrow. As we mentioned a minute ago, that's water polo, marathon, basketball, cycling, handball, pentathlon, volleyball, weightlifting, and wrestling. We'll see you all there. We can't wait to finally wrap up Olympic shows. 18 shows down. One more to go as we inch closer to the end of these Olympics. Make sure to give us a follow at C&C Talks Podcast on Twitter. Subscribe here on YouTube and listen to our episodes right here, C&C Talks YouTube channel, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, cctalks.com, anywhere that you listen to podcasts. Discord, join us on Discord to chat with us. cctalks.com/Discord. Looking forward to seeing everybody over there. That though, had a lot of fun today for our entire team. Zach, Morris, Charlie, and Colin. There's one show left. 6 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, 3 p.m. Pacific. We will see you there. Thanks for listening, everyone.